What up? What up? What up?
What's going
Welcome
on,
to
man?
Something to Say, Vocal Visions podcast. I got something to say. You got
You
something to
got
say.
something to
We all
say.
got something to say. You
That's
know what I'm
right.
saying?
Oh,
I
delivery.
am your host, KC, KFC. I'm gonna say KFC because I'm gonna leave the other Kev to introduce himself with his initials.
Yo, this is KJ, Mr. Humble Beginnings. You already know.
And
You
then
don't
down
know,
below,
I am
I'm here.
Deuce 47, the artist CEO all day, every day.
and then we got a guest on today. We got Mattie B from the Humble Beginnings podcast. Welcome. And we
I'm
gonna
here,
talk
man.
about. Yeah, man. Glad to have you, man. We're going to talk about why are we single. But before that, though, Deuce, I was talking to you earlier about the song She's a Runner, She's a Track Star, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, today was my first time really listening to that song, like really paying attention to the lyrics of that song. I've heard it before. It kind of just played over my head, kind of vibe to it a little bit. Then I listened to the song and the lyrics, and I'm like, oh, this song pretty deep psychologically. And I
Yeah.
see why they try to shut it down a little bit because it exposed a lot of women in that song. A lot. Like as far as like situational or personality type to a certain degree. So people go into she's a runner, she's a track star. That's the first line or whatever. That's the most catchy line. Then when you start going into the verse and everything, it's like, okay, all right, your situation is very generational.
Oh, yeah.
So
Touched multiple generations with that song, definitely.
yeah, I was kind of like going with saying, how Lil Jon East Side Boys came out with Get Low and they're skeet, skeet, skeet everywhere. Then they realized what skeet, skeet meant and they turned it off.
Yeah.
Now it's like they realize track star ain't a compliment. When they say she's a runner, she's a track star, it ain't a compliment.
Oh,
So they're like,
not at all.
okay, let me back this off for the radio a little bit more because he really going in right now.
I
So
think I think the kids understood what they said. I think some people didn't pay attention at first, but I think they definitely caught it. And it had a great groove to it, so they could have danced off of it. You know what I mean? They make the dance off that track. So, you know,
it's
sometimes
interesting.
meanings go overlooked when they find different purposes for a track, when a track fit a purpose. Yeah, it fit the dance purpose and TikTok went off with it. But I think it could have went further still though. He just didn't have nothing to back that up. He didn't have any catalog to really support that song going further. Because my whole thing, when you get a song like that got subliminal meanings and it just flows like that. In order to push that song, you have to have added material so it can go further. So it's like if you don't, then they're gonna get played out or get removed very quickly, especially in our new music age. You know what I mean? Like we got like a week, maybe a month on music if you don't have nothing to follow it up with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. So let's get straight into it. So, on a lot of the reason why I even had this topic is because I've had questions. Inquiring women want to know, why am I single? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to spread it out. So going off of the song we were just talking about, KJ. Yeah, are they runners and track stars, or are you the runner or the track star? What's going on, Kev?
I think I'm more the track star. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really like I'm running straight past. I ain't even like trying to catch the baton from him. I'm like cross country. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm running. Like I ain't really trying to do that right now, man. I just be just being honest. Like it's a personal thing. I done been married. Like I mean, it's all right. I think it's overhyped to a degree. The single life is fun. I mean, I'm having fun. I mean, it is what it is. I ain't really trying to be married. To be honest with you.
Yeah. So how's that single life? Like, how you navigating it? I mean, even with women, like how does that how do you approach or even go about just dating in general?
Well, I'm not. I've never been the approaching type. Like that's one thing I never did. So I don't really. I'm not really approaching women. Then as far as like dating, I mean, if I rock with you, I got people I rock with. I don't really go out and just be out here meeting people. So I'm not really a dater. You get what I'm saying? I don't really do that.
Yeah, because we're going to get into the whole first date thing in a little bit, because I know you had a perspective on that before on one of your earlier shows about first dates. And Matt had one too. But Matt, I'm going to ask you first, are you the runner of the track star? Or are they running, or are they the runners and track stars?
I wouldn't put myself in none of those categories. And I don't know analogy to it, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to jump out there. But I would say I'm definitely not looking for a relationship at the moment. It's not because of bitterness towards women or because I'm just doing other things. It's mainly because I'm just focused on my business right now. It don't want nothing to sidetrack that. And I also know my type. The type of female that I want is going to require money. Not because she's a money hungry female, because I like a certain lifestyle and I like a certain energy. And typically when you meet females like that, it comes with having to spend, you know. So until I get my finances straight, until I get myself where I want to be at mentally and mainly financially, I'm not even worrying about that. But if it comes, it comes.
Well, you talk about it requires money. You talking about they got to have money? Or you talking about just you?
I mean, most of the females that I try to go for, like really on a serious level, they typically have money and they typically want to do this at least on their level, even if they're not really trying to like suck money out that guy. They want a guy that's on a certain level, because I tend to talk to females that's living in these metropolitan areas, in the heart of those areas, and you know how rent and everything in those areas. So usually they have good jobs, no kids, fit. So they typically got going for themselves, and they typically don't want a guy that's just making, you know, average income. So, and the type of circles I usually be in when I'm living in cities, it's usually those type of female.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Deuce?
Just value. Meeting a lot of different women. For me personally, I guess I'm both. Depends on the situation. Like I'm running if the situation ain't right. But they probably running too if they can't meet up to my standards or, you know, what I stand for. So I should both be running. And right now, I just ain't find nobody to run into. How about that? But it's
Yeah.
a little more deeper. Uh, like Mattie B says, still focus on business. Um, you get a little. We talk more about it as we go through the conversation.
Yeah, man. Because I guess for me, like, I ain't running. I'm standing firm. They run into me, and they might hit a wall. It just depends on, you know. It's like I'm good as far as relationship, marriage. It's really about kind of agreeing with y'all. Focus on myself, what I'm doing, where I'm going, where I gotta go. I'm a track star in that way, but I come across different women who have so much going on with their life. I don't feel like being bothered with it, to be honest. Like it's like, yeah, you have a lifestyle, you have a career, you have house, car, you know, money, whatever the case is, but your life is screwed up. It's like it's almost like, you know, playing the game Zelda. And you know, on Zelda, you playing that game or any video game, you got that life bar that's at the top. And it's like, yeah, she got her armor, she got her shield, she got the sword, she got everything that she needs, but that life bar is red. I can't attach myself too much. If my life bar is green, I can't attach myself to anybody whose life bar is red, to be honest. Like you gotta have your life together. There's a lot of women who have their lifestyles together but don't have their life together. It's you got all types of stuff going on right now. So it's like me, I'm a very peaceful person. I'm a peaceful guy. I live a peaceful life. I'm very, you know, laid back and flexible. But if you not that, then I can't rock with it. And a lot of times when it comes to this dating market and women I even meet, it turns off the attraction. And then on top of that, I'm gonna get into people's different perspectives and lifestyles, or even how they approach dating in general, because everybody has a different reality. So
I
if
agree
our
with you.
realities can't match, then it ain't gonna work.
Yeah, I agree with you. A lot of people don't understand the difference between their life and lifestyles. One is about equality, one is about vanity, which you can show off, right? So, but a lot of women look for vanity, so they think. But my whole thing is too that on that comparison is like a lot of women think that we are looking for what they got as far as vanity. You might get a Mattie B when Mattie B say he looking for this and that. They got things together. They choosing the material life. Well, you know what I mean? Like a lot of men ain't really giving a care about that material life. Like they're giving them more about deeper issues than it's more about respect for certain men. For me, it's more about respect than how much
Yeah, I mean,
material.
even if I'm talking about life, I'm talking about like you got anxiety, you got depression, you got trauma, you got drama, you got stress, you got all this stuff going on a daily basis. And it's like, or a black cloud over you over a daily basis. And it's like I can't attach myself to that because I'm already living too peaceful.
That's not a good quality of living.
No, it's not
That
it's
sounds
not quality
stressful.
time.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, no matter how much money comes with that, I don't want that type of stress. How fine she look or whatever, she can keep that. Women put that on the vanity on the highest pedestal. I understand it. Um, when they're looking at it from trying to see what they're getting out of us to a certain degree, but they just got to understand that when we ain't looking for the same thing from them. Not all men.
No, not all men. How you feel about that, Matt? Like even going into how you approach dating. Like if you were dating, how do you usually approach it?
Well, how I usually approach it isn't how I would currently approach it, because I admit I wouldn't have been single. A lot of it is my fault as well, not just the females, because I had a real problem on controlling everything. I like to make things happen. I like to force shit. Let's make it work. This is how it's supposed to go. Let's roll, instead of just letting things happen. So now the way I approach it is completely different, because I just live my life day to day and put myself in areas where things are happening and just get to know people, genuinely getting to know people and see what stands out and shares similar like qualities, rather than meeting a female that may have one or two qualities that I like, and I'm interested and attracted to her and trying to make those other things be part of her. If it's not part of her, hey, we can just be friends and move on. And sometimes you miss your opportunity because there's a lot of females that have homegirls that are perfect for you. Like I met females that be like, hey, I ain't interested in you like that, but I got a cool ass homegirl that look good, but I'm so focused on that some people meet females and meet their wives like that. Cause maybe, hey, this female was meant to be a friend, but her getting to know you, seeing your personality, seeing what type of guy you are, she may say, hey, I got a friend that's perfect for you, and that might be your wife right there. So I think just knowing people.
Hey, but yeah, listen, but is her friend usually look better than her though?
I say there's her. I met females that say I got a friend for you, and their friend don't be ugly. But I agree with you. Typically, when they say that, it's a friend that you can tell she has issues as well. She has attraction issues. I agree with you. But I have had situations where females say they got a friend, the friend looks good as well though. So not all the time. I had a situation where a female had a friend that looks good as well.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting though. What about you, KJ? Like what experiences you done had, man? Like,
So I'm like the total opposite of how Matt said what he used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like the controls and all that other stuff like that. I've always been a go with the flow type of dude. I don't believe in forcing nothing. I've always said that I'd rather somebody who wants to be here versus who needs to be here. I'm not into the business of changing your life. That's not what I do. I'm not trying to control nothing. You here because you choose to be here, and we walk. See, I look for someone to accompany me on this just journey in which that we call life. I don't need to marry you for that. even when it comes to like the concept of dating, like I said, I've just never been the approaching type. Like I've always been the person who women just always approach. So I'm never put in those predicaments where I'm chasing or anything of that nature. So, I mean, I'm one of them people when I get around women, I typically click with women. I listen. I try my best to understand, and we able to connect and build off those avenues. Like it's just that simple. I never come with pressure. That's why it's also easy to smash a lot of these chicks because I'm a good listener. You know what I'm saying? We talk. I don't put no pressure. And when you don't put no pressure on it, they get more comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes them cats who come with all that pressure, you disturbing comfort. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about peace and serenity. So that calm and that peacefulness is typically where it's at, man.
But you just listen. You just listen for the signal, pretty much. That's pretty much what you're saying.
And I just go with the flow, man. I just I've always been like that, though. I've always been a go with the flow type of dude. However you rocking is however I'm rocking.
Yeah, my thing is like even with dating, like when I was even just talking about with the life stuff, a lot of women don't have their life together as much as they say they do until they realize it. It's like when a guy say, I need a woman to be my peace. Really, my thing is always you need to be your own peace first for you to know what peace is, and then on top of that, when you get with her, she will show you whether she's peaceful or not. Because it's like if you a peaceful guy and you live in a peaceful life, and she gets beside you and realizes and sees that you actually peaceful and you ain't got a whole lot going on, it makes her feel more insecure about what's going on in her life. She becomes the track star at that point.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, he ain't, you know what I'm saying? He ain't got no drama like that. He kind of boring maybe. He ain't boring, but he's more predictable than I am. So I'm gonna just shy away from that because I don't want to be seen as the one who got all the issues.
I like being in that position though. That means I'm stable. When I see that reflection, that'll get me like, oh, I know I'm stable. I know I'm good. And I'm glad when leaves get shaken up, the tree ain't supposed to be there. So it's like run. I want them to run. Because the thing is, if a person, I call that respect. At least you know not to bother my life, and she didn't get out of there. I respect that.
Yeah, I respect that. It depending on how long it's been. I respect it.
Oh no. Yeah. Depending on how long it's been. No, don't. I mean, but the whole thing is, if it's been a long time and you let it lag her on.
Yeah, you kind of didn't see none.
Yeah, you kind of did it to yourself too. So it's like it becomes a point where it's like, bro, you ain't catch nothing to let this go or say yes or no. You know what I mean? Like, then I got to put it on you. But it's a fine line between that. So,
but with me though,
I'm women who still leave though and know that they ain't supposed to be there. Because my whole thing is, I don't care when you leave, right? If you know you ain't supposed to be here, you about to make my life miserable. Leave. I ain't care. We talked 2 years and I ain't get it, right? I missed all the clues. Just stop it. But you say, yo, this ain't what I'm supposed to be. I'm still glad you left. Don't stay here and make me misery. I don't want nobody's misery like company, but I don't like it. So like me and misery don't get along.
I know me, man. Like I'm patient enough to get to know her. I'm patient enough for that. But I'm impatient enough to not want to deal with certain things. If that makes sense. Like, for example, like, okay, we're going to the first date. I'm patient enough to want to be friends first and get to know you as a person. But if she ain't on that, that's why I talked about different dating experiences, because some women don't really come across men who really want to get to know them. They just go into it with ulterior motives, whatever the case is, and that's their experience, and that's how they respond. But it's like, I don't feel like wasting time with external things. I'd rather know straight up who am I dealing with? I don't know you. Who am I dealing with? Who are you? Tell me who you are, so I can know how I'm moving. So I can know what I'm getting into to a certain degree. So it's like
my whole thing of showing up on the first date is just to get to know you. Like there is no ulterior motive as far as I'm concerned, because I know it takes time to fully understand people, and I'm one of them people who big on understanding people. So, like, I am showing up really to have fun, but I'm showing up to just get to know who you are and have an understanding of who you are. Like, one of the reasons why I don't believe in putting pressure on a lot of women is because so many women that if they do like you, then they would do a lot of pretending now. Like, they will pretend to be something because they know you like you just to keep you interested, and then they won't be themselves. And then now that leaves me to have to sort out the rest. So I'd rather don't put no pressure on you at all. Just be who you are.
Yeah, that's what I say. Just be who you are.
Yeah, because you can't stop the scissors if you go get cut. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna drop the knife on you or the gavel, no matter how, you must be yourself. That gavel's still gonna drop. You might as well let it drop early. If I find out later on, I still gonna drop the gavel. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is.
But I feel like every guy say that until they actually get with that female that they really feeling. You know, it's easy to say that when we ain't got a female that giving us that feeling at the moment. It's when you with that female, is it that easy to just see something you don't like and hey, drop the gavel or hey, I'm out? I mean, we all talk like that when we ain't with somebody, but we've all probably had situations where we should have been let a woman go or been exited and didn't exit. So I mean, it's when you fall in love, have feelings for somebody. It ain't that easy as we making it seem.
Yeah, but you speaking on the exiting side. We were speaking more also of walking into it.
Yeah, walking into it. Like, yeah, that's just because I fall in love, but that's later on. Like, but at the same time, you know, the divorce rate still high. That means the gavel's still being dropped, brother. Like, matter of fact, this is how you know that it's still gonna prove out. I still drop the gavel. I'm single. All of us are single right now. So obviously some gavels. Obviously, you know, I mean, what you talking it sound good, but you still in the boat with the rest of us. So like, brother, otherwise you would be the one with a woman right now.
I ain't disagree. Yeah. Dropping the gavel off like a no nonsense. Like, you know, I mean, most people, even when they get a divorce, they said it was years after they should have been got the divorce. You know what I'm saying? Most people ain't getting a divorce as soon as something happened, or as soon as, even when you break one of those codes that they feel like is an unbreakable code, most people still don't make that decision right away. It still is a lengthy process of trying to work it out, fighting through things, and then saying, damn, I wasted that.
You think divorce should be instant?
No, I'm saying, but sometimes when people speak, they speak as if this happened, it's a wrap. I'm done. But most of the time, it don't happen like that. Most people try to work things out and try to, especially if they got feelings for that person already, and then they let it go after the fact.
Yeah, I mean, that was the whole thing about being married. You already saying you'll work through things, and then you find out you can't work through it. That's the whole point. Like, you give it a try, like, and then you divorce. Like,
I mean, since y'all talking about divorce, who do y'all think fight to stay in it longer between men and women?
I think most men fight to stay in longer because it's tied into like a lot of it's pride, ego. A lot of it is like the concept of completion, like starting something and I want to finish it. A lot of it is I don't want to fail. I think for men, even when they know a situation is wrong, they still hold on to that concept of I don't want to fail a situation. You know what I'm saying? I think women don't give a fuck. I think them women will throw that shit out the window quick. I don't really think they care. I don't think they really care really about doing it for the kids. I don't really think they even care more so about overallly what would be beneficial for them. I think it's all momentarily. Like, nope, it ain't reaping what I want right now. They'll throw that shit out the window. I think men definitely fight longer.
I mean, only reason I asked that is because, you know, women typically file for divorce. So even if the man is miserable, he still won't file for divorce. So that's the only reason why I asked that question, because Matt brought up being in it longer than you should. So it seems as though men stay in a bad marriage longer than they should, out of reasons that even Kev just mentioned. I was just saying that there were other reasons. Part of it might be guilt.
Yeah.
Man before it's put on woman.
Well, really for both parties, but it ain't really easy for anybody to just change lifestyles that quick. I want people thinking about that too. Like it ain't hard to just say, "Oh, my lifestyle, I can change this lifestyle instantly." Most people don't have that uh maybe finances or abilities at the moment to do that too. People don't think about that too. Because you're talking about lifestyle changing, you're talking about separations and divorces.
Yeah, but I think that people do change quickly depending on if it benefits them. So when
If they
they
have
got
an out, right?
married, everything changed pretty fast.
If they have an out, that's the thing
Yeah.
though. Like most times we talking about when women just jump out, is it because they got an out, right? They already moved on. And when you hear women do stuff like they already got their guy they moved on with too. You know what I'm saying? Like they already got some type of function of moving on. So it's like they transition is way colder than ours. Like when she came to you and said it's over, because she got somebody else. You get what I'm saying? Deeply. She got somebody else. She most likely you think it's just you. Like, no. She over this whole thing and I'm already got another train to catch. You know what I mean? Like
And I think
this is what it already most of the time I see is already another train there. She already bought another trade. She been riding on that trade for a couple of months before she even told you. She already cut the trade. So I tell the guys, like, yo, usually when guys, they single for a little minute. They might get a little flings or whatever. But usually she done caught a whole new trade before she even left you. Got the ticket and everything. She just ready to get on board.
So you saying that guys, well, most of the time guys don't have one that's ready by the time he gets divorced. Even the side chick he might have been messing with in the marriage, she ain't gonna be there at the end.
Cause cause that was just fulfilling what this woman wasn't doing. So the side chick will never really measure up. He gonna find another woman to fulfill his life. Like, that's another thing too. When you pick a woman, she's fulfilling something in your life, making something enhanced. The side chick is really coming in the neglect of the one who's fulfilling things. So it's really small things that your side chick be doing. It ain't really nothing big. Like most times you have a side chick, she ain't doing nothing big in your life. She's just not aggravating you. You know what I mean? And sometimes guys get
I don't know. Some side chicks be aggravating. Some of them be extra.
But then I gotta look at that guy too at that point, right? And say,
well, he ain't controlling the situation. Yeah.
Why would you go from your wife, right, and then go with a side chick and both of them aggravated? What the world? You stupid. Now I don't want to talk to you no more because like I don't follow fools.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's just like, yo, you don't make good decisions, brother. Just like
usually the side chick is the one who bring the peace.
Now she better. Otherwise, why she there?
Mm-hmm.
Why she there?
I think too, because females lead with their emotions. When females lose like love for a guy, they're quicker to like disrespect him or get out of a situation than the guy. Like if you would have had a kid by her and that was your wife, we don't really mind not getting the difference, but there still is a little bit of respect and admiration there for the woman with her. Even if you don't want to be with her no more, we don't rush to get the because it's no problem for us. A lot of females, once they don't like you no more, they won't completely. They lose complete respect for what they feel in another guy. It's like you can get hit by a bus tomorrow and they'll keep it pushing. Like shit, I hope you left some money so me and my baby can get some of that. You know what I'm saying? Like I think we care more too. We don't hold bitterness towards the situation when it don't works out, and we don't really rush the divorce as well too, even if we get out the relationship.
Yeah, that bitterness is something serious. I can't agree with that.
I got a single question. Do y'all think when y'all meet women, y'all can actually see what y'all need to see to actually date them? Or for as a man, it takes more time than when a woman meets you, and she get to see most of that stuff up front. What she's getting.
Well, hold on. So you saying see what you see as far as qualities?
Yeah, qualities. Yeah, what you able to bring? It's kind of like this. One woman meets a dude, right? Usually she can analyze his life because his life is from the perspective of her is providing, right? So she's looking for that provisions in life. So that's why women are able to look at men and have quick judgment. But for us, if you look for a woman who's got that, not a provider, but a nurturer, you can't just look and see that. That's personality. That's deeper quality issues. So like when I be talking about when I ask them what you bring to the table, right? And they look at me strange, it's just like, yo, you can see what I bring. I can't see what you bring, so I'm gonna ask these questions. And like I need some understanding. And then I need you to throughout time, when you're gonna give me these answers to these questions, confirm it. Now, if you done told me something as we dating, you ain't confirming, I'm dropping the gavel. I'm looking for confirmations of what a woman tell me. If she can't confirm it through her actions, then hey. But it's like, yo, you can see, a woman can see mostly what she getting up front with a man. Well, for a man, like, you can't see that up front. Unless you're just looking at her beauty. I mean, but that is
A woman can see it up front. Most women blinded by the wrong things as well.
What do you mean? How many women you know can actually take care of family, brother?
No, that's not the point I was making. I agree with you that most women can't take care of family. But I was hitting on the point where you say women can see a lot more about us than we can see about them in the beginning.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe that.
A woman can see if you can provide her. If you pull up.
One trait, yes. That one trait, probably. But I was talking about the total package. I don't think they can see what they need to see in the beginning as well. I think most people are blinded by whatever they lust or their values are more. So unless that's just what they're looking for, they look just to get a feeling, yeah. But if they're looking for like traits to carry a family, I don't think they really can tell that at the beginning as well, because they always get blinded by how they feel.
A woman can spot a provider and a protector way quicker than you could spot a nurturer, brother. A provider and a protector is more outward. That is more showy. You can see that. That is outward. Like,
but how many females would a protector should be doing? A lot of females date certain type of guys that we say he can't protect no family, but they would think he can protect a family based on his aggression level. And the man that might can protect the family may be a laid-back, boring guy that can actually put you in another community to get you away from a certain environment and change your mind frame. So, I mean, it's based on what that person is even looking for when they say what protection is to them. Because we judge certain things differently than what women judge it off as well.
True.
So I think both sides do see the initial thing that they want up front. Like, men are more visual, so of course we looking more so for sex or whatever may have you. We see exactly what it is that we want right there. Now, as far as the things that come deeper within her, it does take more time to even feel out. I think initially women see what it is that they're looking for up front. So if they're looking for a provider, and most of the time it's the provision of finances, women can typically, they can see, because they'll ask. They want to know what you do. They'll see that up front. Now, as far as protection and all that other stuff like that, that's nurturing. Like, protection is nurturing. So all those other things, we all still have to be around each other and get to know each other. But I think the initial thing on both sides, oh no, we see it. Men see exactly what they want. I see that nut I want to get right there. That woman say, yo, I see his bankroll. That's what I want to get right there. I think we do definitely see the initial thing we want. But as far as the nurturing from both sides, it takes time on both ends.
Yeah, I can see how a woman can see or make a judgment, even if it's a false judgment, make a judgment about whether a man can take care of her a lot sooner than if a woman can take care of him.
So these judgments just
or not take care of him, but even be supportive of him.
So these judgments just about sex and money. Off initials.
The initial ones, yes. That's exactly what it is. It's only when you start, because even with most men got to get to know you. Now, you might be a guy who, because you might be looking for a wife, you might go into the situation saying, yo, I'm trying to find a wife. So now you automatically trying to place these things on a person, because that's what happens. When you go into it saying, I want a wife, I want this. Now, when you meet these women, you start placing these things on her. Has she really able shown it yet? No, because it do take you dealing with her a little bit to be able to see it, because you really don't know. You're not going to get those things up front. So you start placing those ideals on that woman. The same way that woman, when it comes to the concept of being able to protect and maybe a good father, whatever may have you, she'll see your money and automatically assume because you got bread, you can then now take care of her financially. And then she start placing the concept of you going to be a good father, start placing the other concept. Like we start to place what we go into it on other people. That's why on both sides.
And that's why I said earlier about people dating with different realities.
Yep.
So they go into it with a certain reality and then place that on that other person or the expectations that they want in their reality on the other person based off of their dating experiences or however else they want to live. I know for me now, as of now, like I'm not coming in trying to be your provider or protector at all. Don't even look at it. Don't even look for it. I'm not coming in on the first date trying to be none of that. First thing I'm trying to do is trying to be friends with you. I'm trying to get to know you. I'm not trying to provide for you because I don't know you. If I have 6 figures, what makes you think you should get any of it? So it's like it has to be a certain level of proving and on both ends to see whether any type of expectation should even be met. So if like, but at the same time, a lot of women go on dates and deal with men who, you know, they come in with that same mentality and that's their dating experience. So they think that all of my experiences should be that way with every guy I'm with. And but me, I'm like, nah, hey, we can go somewhere for free. I can get somewhere, we can get this, I can get the same information from you for free as opposed to $100 meal. I don't need to pay for it. I can know whether I like you. I don't need to pay to know if I like you or not. So that's why I'm like, as far as coming in, providing, showing provision, showing all this, I'm like, nah, I'm just coming in to see whether I even like you or not. Can I even be around you? Can I even talk to you? Like it's certain things that I look for off jump that don't require anything or any expectations. That's just about person to person interaction. That's it. But a lot of women have those mindsets and they go into dating with those mindsets and they get very disappointed when they meet certain people certain men that don't meet this quote unquote qualification that they looking for.
Yeah, like you just gotta, if you ain't under my covering, then I'm not doing none of that anyway. Until you get placed under my covering, then that's when I offer those those tools of living. But I don't try to do no false expectations. Like, yo, until you get under my covering and we make that, you can see that you're under my covering. I don't really expect something that ain't agreed upon. Like, that's why I tell everybody, if you ain't agreed upon it with me, then that was your own misguidance. Like, learn how to communicate and let's talk about agreeing and disagreeing about things. Don't just assume. I don't do assumptions. You assume you're gonna always fail with me.
Failing. I mean, because people go into dating with you go directly into dating with relationship expectations, and then go into relationship with marital expectations. So you always just one up, even though you shouldn't be. But it's like with a lot of women, they think. Well, I kind of lost my thought on that just for a second because you had mentioned something that kind of I want to expound on, but really, like even on that first date or however the dates is going, like where are you getting these expectations? Well, you're getting them from social media and from what you think is supposed to happen, but it's like, nah, I'm sorry, it's not gonna rock. It's not gonna rock that way. It's not gonna rock the way you think it is because you in this fantasy, you in this realization, this reality of thinking that this is how it should go, and a lot of times you miss out on opportunities because you focus on how you think it should go as opposed to really tuning in to what's going on so you can see what's, discern whether you even should be with a person. Because my thing is, that's what I was going to say. My thing is, I ask you out because I'm attracted to you, not because I like you. They think that I like them, or they might think a man likes them because a man asked them out. He attracted to you. I have to find out if I like you. So you think that, he likes me, so that means he wants to pay for the date. That means he wants to do this. No, it don't mean none of that. It means I'm attracted to you. I want to get to know you more. Let's go from there.
And just because I like you don't mean I say I want to take care of your lifestyle.
And it's also based on what that female values, because if she value her looks more than her personality, and you saying you like her because her looks, you are liking her in her eyes. And a lot of guys do lead with the looks. A lot of guys don't always focus on personality. So I can understand why a female would assume that you like my looks, you like me, because there's a lot of guys that overlook a lot of things because a female has those looks as well.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna do all that unless I'm loving though. If I don't love you, I ain't doing none of that. Like we talking about likes and attraction. Like you don't get nothing off of those two at marriage. You gotta get that love part for me to start giving you this cake and this money and taking you all this. I love it. Man, that's on some love. I ain't doing no likes.
Hold up. It was just a few podcasts ago. You were talking about going on a cruise. It was like you and Matt was talking about cruises and books and shoes. Now Matt was talking about the shoes, buying shoes and all this other stuff.
Right. All right. This is what I was trying to say. I have female friends, right? That I'm cool with. I'll take a place. But it probably ain't just out of friendship. You get what I'm saying? I do stuff out of friendship all the time. Like I do stuff with my niggas like, hey, come rock with me and I cover it. You dig what I'm saying? Like I just do that because I love that person, but it's in a friendly way. We talking about dating people. Like if I'm looking at you from that perspective, no, all this is earned. All this is overtime. Like no, especially if I got to learn all this overtime. As much as it takes me, how long it takes me to learn you, then that's how slow this shit is progressing too. I'm not just, I don't know nothing and I'm kicking out everything. What? Come on, man. Like, cause that's a bad investment. I look at stuff as investments, right? I'm not just investing my money. I'm not going all in as soon as I meet somebody. That's just like playing craps or gambling. I'm not gambling on no woman. Dig what I'm saying? I invest into it. And some of these investments are gradual investments. Like, stuff take time. No. So when I say I take women out with me, usually because we've been friends for a minute. And we friends. But if I'm dating, these things are gradual. Don't expect none of that. And even my friends know when I get to that level and we go on stuff like that, you might be out of the boat because I'm probably looking at other things while we chilling. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm an honest guy. So no, I ain't know about his books and his and all that other stuff. I just know how I treat my friends.
Yeah, he was talking about buying a book and actually the book was last. He was talking about buying shoes and it was something else. I forgot what it was. Actually, we started with a card. That's what we started with. 99-cent card, and it went to like some $100 shoes or something like that. I forgot what it was. Matt gonna have to talk about that because he the one that's tricking. So
now you agree at first until you saw everybody and then down to know a dollar card or something. Knowing well we ain't talking about no dollar card for no birthday. Talking present. And I make the example like just shoes or something. Like if her birthday coming, y'all rocking together. And y'all ain't in a relationship yet, do you get her something on her birthday? You just gonna get her $1 card or $2 card? You gonna get? Let's be serious. Most dudes gonna get a female something, and it's gonna be more than a couple dollars.
I mean, I understand presents, giving gifts.
Yeah, it could be a book. Like I said,
really, for me, it would depend on how long I was already rocking with her.
Yeah, it depends on how long.
If I met her in July and her birthday just happened to be in August, I ain't getting her nothing. Because it's too early. So like now, if I met her in July and it's December, January, her birthday like January, and we've been rocking with each other, yeah, most likely I am gonna give her something because you done been dealing with this person, you done became cool with them, so you don't mind celebrating their birthday. But to just do it.
What's your to say? I want to spend my birthday with you.
You said, what did she say?
She ain't about none of the rest of the world. She said, I want to spend my birthday with you. What you do then? To sit at the house, or you go buy a dinner?
Oh, no. Then if she wants to spend her birthday with me, then we gonna be at the house. I'm not gonna take her nowhere. But you think you want to spend it with me? I'm here. I'm like, what are you talking about? You didn't. I'm gonna say I'm here. You wanted the trip. You said me. I'm here.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they be putting.
You said December, January. So what if it's her birthday? You got her birthday and Christmas coming up. You getting both?
Oh, I don't celebrate Christmas. So she'll
lose that. So she ain't getting none of those.
Yeah, I don't celebrate Christmas at all. So you gonna lose that regardless.
All right. So let me ask y'all this. This is a good one. How do y'all navigate with that as far as not celebrating holidays? Because you know women love to celebrate everything.
Mm-hmm.
So how do y'all?
It's not a hard navigation. I literally don't do it.
Yeah.
I always say this. Your emotions and my emotions do not dictate the way my operations. If I don't celebrate holidays, I don't celebrate holidays. So, I mean, you gonna bring it up? I'm gonna say I don't celebrate holidays, and then you gonna have to make a choice. If you that fond of holidays, you gonna have to leave because I'm not gonna celebrate the holiday. Like I don't do that.
But she just gonna bring it up. She gonna bring it up.
That probably was
holiday.
the best. That probably was the best thing. It's like, yo, you up front with everything. I've been doing this all my life. So you think just because you came in, my life's gonna just stop? I'm like, nah. Yeah. It's like, yo, what do you accept? If you that them things gonna break the back, right? Like, oh, I can't do this. Then all right, then track start. You know what I mean? Get the running.
Because now you telling me to be somebody I'm not.
Exactly.
Because I don't do it.
That's what she want though. She gonna bring it up every holiday to see if your answer changed. That's pretty much what's gonna happen.
Man, I gotta know. That's what I'm gonna do for every Christmas. I'm gonna say no. Or matter of fact, if you want me to surprise you, this is how we'll do it. Since if she want to play, if you want me to surprise you, I'm like, yo, man, you should see what I'm gonna get you this Christmas. Now she done told her over and over again, I'm not gonna buy nothing for Christmas. So I'm gonna build it up. Then when Christmas Day comes, she was like, what's my gift? I'm like, I got you nothing. Surprise. You wanted a surprise because I don't celebrate it. So if you want to play, we can play.
What if her ex used to celebrate Christmas or holidays? She say, well,
who cared about that last past relationship? Ain't nobody care about nobody past relationship.
They got to do with me.
You care about her ex? Man, nobody care about her ex. Man,
what the fuck they got to do with me? They ain't got nothing to do with me.
Relationship got to do it now. No, I don't care about what her ex did. She can go back to her ex too. That's why matter of fact, y'all need to get in a damn. We call those relationships.
So what if her that why I'm about to go? What if her ex used to celebrate it? And she said, well, when the holidays come, I'm gonna go back with my ex and the family. And we celebrate the holidays. I like the way they celebrate the holidays. So when Thanksgiving come, I'm going to my family house.
Where's you pulling this load of bull crap from?
Hey, what if she friends? What if she friends with her exes? How y'all feel about that?
Oh, you got kids? You talking about kids? Friends?
No kids. No kids. No, I ain't talking about baby daddy. I'm talking about no kids.
I ain't bitter to marriage. That's a no-go.
Yeah, if it's this whole concept of just dating, I don't really care because that's not where we at in as far as space. But if you talking about we about to get married, this is a whole different conversation. Like first of all, I'm gonna just keep it real with you. I don't believe men and women can just be naturally friends. Like I've said this many places, and I remember when I said this at the job one time, they had looked at me crazy. If I call a woman my friend, that means she's giving me some pussy. I'm not your fucking friend. We're maybe associated in certain avenues, but I'm not your fucking friend because I have friends. Mattie B is a friend. We've been rocking since middle school. My question to this woman, only thing you can do that my friends can't do is give me some pussy. So if you want to be my friend, you got to provide what my other friends cannot. I'm not your friend. Now we can be associates, but I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I'm in the minority there because I got women I'm friends with and just friends with.
I mean, you might can do it though. I'm saying I can't do it.
So let's go into since they brought up Deuce brought up the kids. So what about women with children at this point? I will ask the two guys with no children right now.
What do you mean?
How do you is that a situation you don't mind, being in as far as like dating a woman with kids?
I'll give you one. Yeah, I'll give a woman one. I mean, but it's still 0 first. You know what I mean? Like, but anything more than one, only because I done dated a woman with more than one kid, right? And the kid's great, but More than one, because I only giving you one time to make a mistake. Like, dang, I made a mistake with this person. You know what I mean? Okay, I get you that one. But anything more than that, nah. None.
I
Because
agree.
then, to a certain degree, I feel like it don't feel like my family. I don't know how everybody else feel. It wouldn't feel like my family. If I'm going into a whole nest now, like a 4, 5, 3 kids, it ain't gonna feel like my family. I'm feel like a bigger tool, for this family.
You're gonna feel like a dog. That's what you're gonna
Yeah,
feel
and
like. You're gonna feel
I
like
can't feel like that.
you're gonna feel like the new Labrador they just got.
Yeah, and I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to. I can't. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do humanitarian things, and I do it just like that. Do humanitarian work. So I get to a family that's big, but I ain't want to go into no ready-made family that's that huge. Like, nah, it's all good. I save my ticket. I give my ticket to somebody else on that one. Mattie B can have that if you want it. You know what I mean? I don't know if you want it.
Nah, I don't want no kids. Like I said, I possibly do one kid, and that's only if she been married before. Not even if she had a mistake. She had to got out of full divorce and been married and had a kid in the marriage. Then I may say, okay, that shows some responsibility. But just having a kid and you wasn't married, nah, that ain't gonna work.
Now I like that level you put on that.
Two is
Yeah, I like
that level you put on that.
2 is 100% off limits. Yeah, that's just.
I mean, I will say, I will say that.
I guess I probably have dated a woman with a bunch of kids because they ain't going nowhere. We just dating is just spending time to me. So like, I date a woman with kids. But no, I'm not married to a woman with a bunch of kids. It ain't happening.
I mean, I agree with the married part because a single mother out of a marriage is different than a single mother who was never married. They move different.
Yeah, but the whole thing is about that is when you see the woman come out there, they don't take the time they need to heal though. That's the only problem I have with it. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
I see responsibility, but I don't see the healing. Huh?
Yeah, I believe they can be, but I've seen a lot of instances where even with the women who have been married, they ain't no better than the ones who've never been married.
Yeah, I can say that too.
Like being honest, like I don't see a difference personally.
I mean, I only say it because I've seen the difference.
Yeah, I don't really see a difference.
But I'm not surprised. I mean, shoot. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they move how they move.
I guess.
See, with me, it's like you can have kids, and then it's like this too. If you come in and you don't have kids and you want kids, then you're gonna have to find somebody else. Because I already got kids, and then I don't want to have more kids. So it's like you're gonna have to pick your poison. Like either you're gonna have to be a good mama to these, or you probably need to go somewhere else. Because it's like I don't really want to battle that. But if you got kids, that's fine. And I kind of rather you would have them in a sense, because then that way you might not feel excluded to a degree. Because unless you officially get married, I'm gonna throw this Hayward thing around, which is my last name. So if you don't actually take the last name, then you're gonna definitely feel excluded. Because I'm gonna say
and that's another reason why I probably wouldn't want a family full-fledged with more than one. Only because of the last name.
Mm-hmm.
And the other kids ain't gonna have the last name. So I ain't gonna mean no disrespect, but who you think everything going to first? My firstborn or her firstborn? I mean, her born, her children before I came. Ain't none of them getting it first. I just be real. My firstborn getting everything first, no matter what she came with. So it's like that. It's like that. Those decisions of what people would probably would say that things would be unfair. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that is from the children's perspective growing up. It ain't really about me or her. It's like, yo, I wouldn't want kids to see that part of life and then it seemed unfair. Because ain't no damn way in the world. It's like that McDonald's commercial. I mean, McDonald's thing with old buddy, right? It was going live when he wanted to bring his kid McDonald's. That me. Mm-hmm. I'm not bringing all the McDonald's. It's not it's not happening. So, like, I'm going to treat that. They're going to be that way in life, too. You get what I'm saying? Like, I might have love for her kids because they're there, but it still ain't nothing like your own. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've dated women with children, and when you date with anybody with kids, you have to have a certain level of patience based off of how they may navigate or or their daily day-to-day lifestyle. You got to be patient to, with their schedules, with responsibilities and stuff like that. For me, I'm kind of switching up a little bit because if I take into account my lifestyle with me having a 10-year-old who is with his mom out of state, my lifestyle is different as far as, custodial parent, non-custodial parent. So even though I will have the patience with someone who has children, I don't sometimes have the patience to wait on that. Cause it's like, if I want to go out, let's go out. If I want to go to a road trip, let's go to a road trip. I don't feel like dealing with, I gotta find a babysitter. Cause at the end of the day, it's not really about them having control. It's about the people who they put the responsibility on having control at the same time. So now it's like, yeah, they might have wanted to go on a date with you, but now them going on a date with you is dependent upon who can watch them. So you're on their time too. So it's like, at a certain point, based off my day-to-day lifestyle doesn't revolve around a schedule as far as with my child the way that someone else would. So that would be conflicting to me. So
Hey,
it's
why you
like,
think the concept of equally yoked it's not pushed in the dating realm as far as that? Like, date equally yoked people so you can everybody have an understanding and balance to that situation. Now, when you dating totally opposite, I got 3 kids and I got none. Like, ain't no equally yoking that. Like, that's so, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, my thing was I was going off of equally yoked because yes, I have a child, so yes, it'd be equal to somebody else who has a child. But I also have to take into account lifestyle and schedule as well.
But
So that wouldn't be equally yoked.
I was about to say
No,
that wouldn't be
equally.
It wouldn't be equally yoked because the problems of a custodial parent is not the same problem as a non-custodial parent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No,
For most men, you would
finding-
be the non-custodial parent, which means you won't have those same restrictions as the custodial parent.
Right.
Right. Now I'm saying find somebody that's compatible. Like if I don't have kids, finding somebody who don't have kids would be more equal to my situation because we can go on these journeys together, because we understand these. We can fulfill the rest of these journeys together. Or if you only got one child, you find somebody with one child. If you're a non-custodial parent, you might find another non-custodial parent, and y'all, you know what I mean? Like, just seeing things as similarities as far as lifestyles, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it's all about
yoked.
Yeah, it's about the compatibility of the lifestyles because really, in order to really build with somebody and spend that quality time, the lifestyles have to be similar. As far as, of course you're going to have stuff as far as your work schedule and different things that you do, but there has to be some type of similarity there as far as where y'all can actually spend time.
But that's what it's about for most women anyway, though. Most women are approaching and chasing a lifestyle as far as the men are concerned anyway. So I don't think it's hard for women to understand the whole lifestyle approach because that's what most women are looking for anyway, a lifestyle.
Yeah, but they talking about future lifestyles that can be created. I'm talking about what's already present and known. You know what I mean? Like, we already know that this is known already. We see it, like, we got kids got this. Some of them things be like, that's something that you want to happen in the future. Like, it's different to me if you can see what's now and compare what's now than saying, like, this is what I want. The future hasn't arrived yet. Like, I can't compare that yet. Like, I'm talking about what we can see.
If don't work out, you put money into the woman, but you got benefit from that because you got sex and everything else. If it's your child that's going, you put money in your child, you got benefiting how that child come out. You get no benefit at all with that money you put in that step kid. There was nothing provided there that benefited you if that relationship don't work out. And I agree. I dated a woman that had kids. I definitely agree with what Kev said about you're on other people's schedule. That's one of the main hurdles that pisses me off about it, because if it's your kid, people will babysit your kid for you and your woman, but you're asking another family to babysit his ex's child so she could go out on a date with another man. A lot of times they saying no just on purpose because they don't even like that the woman's going out with you. So they purposely hindering the situation. Yeah, I babysit in the last minute. No, I'm not going to babysit, because they looking at it as she going out with this nigga. Why would we babysit her, babysit for her so she can have free time with another dude? You know, so they be purposely like jacking the situation up, last minute changing the mind. But if it's my kid, I know for sure I can find somebody to babysit my kid and my family for the benefit of me.
Yeah, you talk about a lot of exes. Like, like you guys have exes situations, man.
So you automatically talking about exes. And you talk about babysitting, her family babysitting. I mean, it's an ex.
Yeah.
If that guy do have a benefit, if he's one of them real super humanitarian ass type of niggas, where even if he's not the man, his kids, and he just really cares so much about the youth and contributing and building others and all that other stuff like that, he do have a benefit because he's pouring into them, and that's going to be there regardless of if the child was his or it wasn't his. So that guy would benefit. The other guys, not so much.
And on top of the equally yoked part, like her, even if she has kids, her co-parenting relationship has to be equal to mine. Like I have a fantastic co-parenting relationship. I ain't got time for you to be trying to figure stuff out with your baby father or ex-husband or whatever the case is. That has to be taken care of. And it has to be a foundation for that. Like it's already a standard that's there that everything works out in the benefit of all parties involved.
Yeah, because I don't see why to take on that drama anyway with baby fathers. There's too many fishes in the sea for that. Like, you got to be able to handle your baby father before I even gonna take you seriously.
Yeah, I'm not one that. First of all, I don't do drama at all. Like, I'm one of them type of people that's gonna get real dangerous for you. Like, we not do drama. Like, even with like I don't have problems with my baby mother. Like, we don't. That's not how I rock. And I'm one of the ones that I'm going to control that. You know what I'm saying? So you couldn't bring drama. Like, the drama just wouldn't exist. Cause I'm gonna tell her right then, like, yo, control your situation, or you can let me control your situation for you. I'll let you choose. But the situation is going to be controlled. But I'll let you choose.
Hey, how soon are you comfortable with meeting the kids?
Meeting them?
Yeah. How soon are you comfortable with it? Because I would say
personally, I'm not uncomfortable meeting them
anytime, yeah.
At any point, be honest with you. Like, that's not a comfortability thing with me. Because I have children, I work with a lot of children, I love kids. So I don't have a problem with meeting your children. And I don't judge you even if I meet your children early, because I think it always boils down to the type of woman too. Because if you're a woman who's super involved and you're not a ponder, which means you're not pondering your kids off on a lot of people, it'll be very hard to deal with you without getting within the introduction of your children anyway. Mm-hmm. So I don't have a problem with that. I don't care when the time is.
Yeah. What about you, Matt?
As far as meeting the kids, I ain't really comfortable with that at all myself as well. The only way I would be comfortable if we like engaged and we actually about to get married. We would have to already been talking. Like,
wait, hold on, time out.
Hey, yo, you be extreme, yo.
Yeah. Hey, wait, you ain't met the kids yet? Y'all about to get married? That what you saying?
Damn.
If we ain't that serious when we about to get engaged or something, there ain't no need for me to meet them. Because I don't do the shacking up. So, I mean, what would they need to be around me for?
No, I'm saying, so how long is that though? Like that's a good minute though, ain't it?
Other than she being at your house, though,
I think if I'm dealing with a woman, that got a kid, that means I must be like, I ain't dealing with a woman on a serious level that got a kid if I'm not ready to be married in under a year. So I mean,
hold on. Yo, man, like, how do you not meet somebody's kids?
I didn't already be married. I said let's be serious. We serious in the relationship, and it's coming up to being engaged and being married. Yeah, I don't need to meet. I don't.
You think you can date a woman for a year, not meet her kids?
Never meet them. Actually,
that's what I'm saying.
It goes back to what I said earlier. If that woman is super involved with her children, it would be very difficult to not meet her children.
Exactly. Very difficult.
It will be very difficult. Because that's like me, right? That's like me. I'm not the custodial parent, but it will be very difficult for a woman to deal with me and not meet my children because my children are always around me. First of all, if you come into my house, you gonna be like, damn, nigga, you got nothing but pictures. Like, you can't even not see the children. You gonna be like, yeah, nigga, you be involved. So you can't even deal with me and not meet my children.
I'm not against meeting the kids, but he said, when would I need to meet them? I mean, I don't have to meet them until we're that serious. Now, if I happen to meet them and I happen to meet them, I'm not gonna say I don't want to meet them because they there. But I'm saying, like, if I have to meet them, it would be like once we're really serious. But I'm not like forcing myself to meet them.
No, but I guess well, my thing is, if she offers to say, hey, I want you to meet my kids, or we going to a fair or an event, and I want you to come, and my kids are coming, you gonna say no?
I mean, if it's a kid, no, I'm not gonna say no if it's a kid. But if it's kids, I wouldn't even be dealing with her. But yeah, if it's one kid, I don't mind going to a fair with her. If she already got the kid with her, that's cool. But I wouldn't require myself to meet them unless I was like serious to the point where I want to like marry her or something.
Yeah. So you, yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, so you saying like, say her kid birthday coming up, and y'all been talking for a few months, and y'all still don't know whether you gonna get married or whatever the case is. You're not gonna get a birthday present.
No, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. And I'm not gonna be pushing to meet them. But if we to the point where I propose it to you, I think you're the one. Now I'm gonna push to, okay, let me meet your kid because this is somebody I know that we're gonna be going forward. I need to get to know. But if I'm not looking to marry her, I'm not gonna push to get to know the kid. Now if the kid just happened to be around her, or she bring the kids out and I see them, I'm not gonna not meet him because he's there or not do anything because he's there. But once I say I want to marry this female, that's when I push to actually get to know him and spend time with him and see him or her and get to know him on a different level.
So I got a question though. So from the time you know that you want to marry her to moving in, how far apart is that? Like, what's the time frame of that as far as y'all living together? From the time you know you want to marry them to her and to the time y'all moving together, what is the time frame of that?
I would say 3 to 6 months. I'm not moving in with nobody unless we married. I don't believe in that no more. I'm not. So if we ain't married, I'm not moving in with you. I don't think we had to move in before we get married. I'm cool with not doing that. I think I can get an idea of what type of person you is without moving in before we get married.
Okay, I get that. Yeah.
Hold on.
I mean, the only reason I asked
about this right here, I got it. He's shaking his head too hard. I got to know what is it? What do you think?
I did what? Okay, I've stayed with several women. Well, I had several women stay with me. You learn more about it. Like, you have a certain level of a synopsis that you learn about women. Because like how Matt said, you get an idea. But you learn a lot more when y'all start sharing the dwelling. And I personally, like, I know old cats might be like, don't be shacking up. But nah, yo, I want to live with her first. Because you learn a lot more about how a lot of people are, because that visiting and coming over every now and then, that shit is not the same. I know this for a fact. No, you learn a lot more when you living with a woman. So I would never go to marry a woman that I ain't never lived with that woman first. And I done had me, Matt, you know, I done kicked.
All right, I got a question there.
You also said if you marry somebody, something should change from when you were dating them. So if you're moving in with them, you're having sex before marriage, you're doing a lot of things. What is changing when you get married to them? If you need to know,
I didn't say that had to change.
No, I'm asking you, what is it then? If you're living with somebody, you know more about them than any point that you're dating them. So what is changing when you get married to them? If you need to live with them before you even get married, that means.
Well, there's a lot of things that are going to change because we move in together. Us moving in together it's just like my first date, right? Like, I go on my first date to understand and ask my questions and do all these other things like that to get better to understand whether or not I really want to deal with you. The moving in with you And this is the reason why I'm doing this is because I've lived with several women. I'm doing this now to do further learning and make a better assessment, because there's a lot of women who got certain habits and traits of cleanliness and all these other different things that I really, really don't like. Now, you know me too. I'm actually currently now I'm against living with a female, having a grown woman in my house at all. So if I have to make that measure to marry this woman, she definitely has to live with me first before I actually make that step, though. Because I don't like the way women are when it comes to like the house. Like, I don't know. I don't like that anyway. But that's more so because I like my personal space too.
But you're also not comparing it to you being with the woman and you marrying the woman first, then moving in her, because you've never done it that way as well. You're just comparing it to you living with a woman and not living with a woman. You also don't have the comparisons of how it would be if you was to marry that woman first, then move her in, because that change. I heard married couples say that changes dynamics of how they act as well if they were married first rather than coming in as a girlfriend.
Let me tell you something. I don't have to try that dumbass scenario out. That shit still sounds stupid to me. I'm not trying that dumb shit out. I done lived with many women, and I saw a big dynamic change just from living with the women. I'm not about to try this stupid shit of marrying you first, then living with you. I don't have to do that dumb shit. That shit still sound dumb.
Well, you're just not comparing it to the other side. That's all I'm saying. If it sounds dumb, it sounds dumb. But you can't.
Yeah, I can't compare it to the other side because that's a big ass leap that I think is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So I just won't do that, because I know that there is a big change when y'all move in together. Just like a lot of couples tell you that. A lot of people change when you finally move in with each other. Most people who live with women tell you this. People who not married and people who are married.
And I've had people, and I've seen a lot of successful marriages that said they benefited by not living together until they get married as well.
You say you've seen a lot of them.
Huh?
You say you've seen a lot of them?
I've seen a lot of them. Yeah, I've seen more people that successfully married.
What's a lot to you?
They stayed together once they got. I've seen more people that's been married.
What's a lot to you?
Huh?
What's a lot to you?
It's based on the majority of how many people I talk to.
No. I want to better understand what you're saying. What is a lot to you? Numerical. Put it in a numerical form to me. When you yourself say a lot, what is a lot to you? I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
So, like, I mean,
put a number on it.
Huh?
Put a number on it. What is a lot to you?
It's a percentage more so than an actual number, but a percentage.
Put a number on it. A percentage.
A percentage is a number.
All right,
a percentage is a number.
I say 70%.
Okay.
I've seen 70% of the marriages that I've seen successful, maybe only 30% of them moved in before they actually was married. I've seen 7 out of 10 moved in after they were married and stayed together before they were married.
You know the problem with you saying 70%? If you only know 5 marriages, 70% would be.
Nah, I know more than that.
I get it. I get it. I get it. I still think. I get you. I ain't gonna knock the whole concept. I just personally think that's fucking stupid.
If you're checking
out, but I tell you what though, you try it out and I'm gonna accompany you right by your side. So you try it out, and then I just want to see where you land. I just do it like that.
Yeah, because I believe, I'm kind of agreeing with you about like not staying with, what you were saying, not staying with a woman. I believe staying with a woman is a bigger step than getting married in some situations. If you take the financial aspect out of it, the dealings with a woman, I believe there's more confusion when you stay with somebody than when you get married. So I see why you're saying you will stay with them first to see how that is, but that's the hardest step for some people than the marriage.
How long should you shack up before you cut it? Some people shacking up too long. Yeah, we talking about you need to get this experience. How long should you go to this university before you graduate?
So if I'm literally moving with the mentality of I'm trying to make a woman my wife. If I'm trying to make a woman my wife, I always say this: we're gonna go 6 months.
I was just about to say that.
I'm proposing to you on the 7th month. The time of that proposal, you're moving in. The goal is to be married within that year or year and a half. A year and a half at most. At most is the 18th month. So if I'm driven to be married, you have 6 months to decide if this is where you're going to be and what you are going to do. I am proposing on the 7th month. If you're not ready,
So this she okay? I hit a proposal in the 7th month, but she wouldn't be the fiance then, and then if she can't be the wife, you take away the ring.
She can be the fiance if she say
At
yes
that
to the
moment
proposal.
for the 6 months. Oh no! So that 6 months, she just
No, the 6 months is your trial period because you got to know if you actually want to be here or not.
Trial period for the fiance role, right?
Yes.
And then if you pass the fiance role, you get to the wife. I got you.
Yes.
All right. So I just want to know where the shack it out happened. He said before
And
we
that's
become fiance.
Yeah, because I'm not going to live with you for a long period of time.
Yeah, 6 months
before
you
the
become
marriage.
fiance. I just want
you have to figure. We both got to feel this thing out. So I would never say we going straight to court and face to get married. We don't live in them damn times no more. You fuck around me shacking up, moving in, getting married to a fucking serial killer. You crazy? We're not doing that. That would be the most dumbest shit ever. So you got your period. You got 6 months. But I'm telling you in the beginning, though. So it's not a surprise. I'm telling you in the beginning, I want a wife. So that's what I'm saying. If I'm going into it and I know I want to be married, I'm telling you, I want a wife. You got 6 months of a trial. The 7th month, I am proposing. So when I make the proposal, when you say yes, you understand what we talked about. If you say no, then I know that we're gonna have to part ways. It's just that simple.
No, that kind of it depends. That depends on the situation though, because it's like if you got the bag, then she gonna go through that 6 months just to get to that 6 months, regardless. Like, just wait for that proposal. Just sitting back waiting on it.
But I'm not one of them people. She would have never saw the bag when it came to me because I don't have one of them type of lifestyles. I'm a simple dude. So she would have never saw that lifestyle with me because I like basic shit. And one thing I don't do, I will not do for you what I don't do for myself. I don't even like Jordans, nigga. So if you want me to buy you a pair of Jordans, I'm like, whoa, we wear Pumas and Chuck Taylors over here. We don't wear those. What can I do for you? Like, I will not do for you what I don't do for myself. See, I don't agree. I wouldn't introduce you into something that's flawed. So I like to eat at Zaxby's. You know where I fine dining is? Zaxby's.
I do agree with the 6 months though. Like that's a good time frame as far as knowing what you need to know.
Especially if I'm going into it being serious. That's why I say if I say, yo, I want a wife now. And I meet you and we're having these conversations, you got 6 months of trial. Because what do we need all this extra time for? We don't need a bunch of time. We cannot learn to grasp with each other within this 6 months of learning. If you need more time than that, yo, move aside, bitch. You playing. You ain't trying to be getting married. Get out the way. Let me find somebody else who's more serious. 6 months is long enough.
Yeah, what was you about to say, Matt?
Somebody date before they go through the shacking out stage. We had to put a timeline on that.
You said what happened again?
How long y'all think somebody should date before they go to the shacking up then? And we got the stages that we talking.
It's hard for me to speak on how other people will do it because other people might not be pushing as hard as I'm pushing. Because there are a lot of people who just don't mind shacking up just to shack up.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so say that they got like we know you don't want to be married, but say that you come from that perspective and what you just talked about right now. What if you had to give somebody that, like, okay, I like that perspective, and they say they're gonna rock with that for some reason, and they want more clarity. They're like, well, before I get to shacking, how long I should be dating before I shack? Because I got a shacking timeline, but I ain't got no dating timeline. You know what I'm saying?
It depends on how serious you are at dating or what your intentions of dating is. I think if your intentions are to have the result of marriage, then it wouldn't take no longer than a year.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So that's why I said if I'm going into it in the beginning and I'm saying I want that wife, then you have your year time frame all and like in totality. Now, if I don't, like, I'm only going with the flow, and it's not me wanting a wife. That's the only time I'm going with the flow. Now, if we were talking about being super intentional, you got 6 months of the proposal, you got 4 months, we get married. The moment we hit the annual year, we married now.
So it's like 6 months of dating, 6 months of courting, 6 months of shack, and then we married.
No,
Yeah, that's why I say it just depends on how serious you are with it. Now,
I'm starting to see dating and courting as two different things. Even though
dating and courting is two different things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it is two different.
So what's the definition of courting to y'all?
Courting is when I choose that woman. It's kind of like when they say girlfriend, boyfriend shit. It's like when I actually choose this woman to become that one. Dating is me choosing most of random women to get to know until I choose that one until I want to take seriously and see what that leads to.
Yeah, I was about to say courting is literally the moment I already made the decision that you're going to be my wife and we're moving forward. That's what courting is. Dating is just we just meet up from time to time, and that's just what it is.
Spending days together, dates.
Yeah, we just do dates. Dating is just that. We just do dates. But courting is the decision has already been made. It's not courting if I have not made the decision. You're going to be my wife.
I'm trying to court you to the White House. I mean, to the courtyard to get this marriage certificate. So it's courting to me because now I mean in my mind, that I'm trying to get to that courthouse. So I'm courting you. You get what I'm saying? Like I see it. Like you done reached the level that I can go there with you.
So is courting the same as being in an exclusive relationship?
Yeah.
Not necessarily, because the concept of just being in it is because there are people who date and then they try to put the restrictions of being exclusive upon that. Being exclusive is just y'all just making an agreement that y'all are only going to deal with each other. That's not the same thing as courting, because y'all could be exclusive but still have no intentions on being married.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all just saying that y'all don't. That listen. I'm gonna deal with you. You gonna deal with me. You know, it's a lot of diseases out here, a lot of other shit going on. I ain't really with this whole fucking around and all that other stuff like that. That's all being exclusive is.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to agree with that analogy. Yeah,
that's all that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you let me let Matt chime in, man, because I saw you was about to comment on something.
We didn't pass it now, but what I was gonna say is we talking about this wait until you get married to get shacked up. How many people get engaged, move in together, and actually never get married now? So a lot of times when people shack up as well, they end up shacking up years and years and years and years with this engagement before they actually get married. Or they shack up years and years and then they actually just turn the engagement off and move out. A lot of times when you move in before you get married, people feel more complacent, like we pretty much married anyway. So a lot of times you actually now never even get to the marriage once you move in. A lot of times as well too.
I mean, we did just put a timeline on it, Mattie B.
I'm about to say
but that's what I'm saying.
Me talking about other people and then telling you about how I'm going to operate is two different things.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you personally. I'm saying I was speaking in general. Even when people put that timeline on there, once they move in, a lot of people get complacent and not even get to the wedding now because they're like, "Hey, we're doing everything now." So a lot of times you don't even make it to the wedding now.
I mean, I don't disagree, but I mean, the purpose of the whole approach to that is myself. Yeah, so I'm not based upon the generality. I'm based upon what the fuck I said, what it was. So I get it, and I do agree with you as far as the generality is concerned. Yes, you know what I'm saying.
Sometimes that happened earlier than that, even before we even get to that point, because people can be dating and getting all the benefits from relationships. So it's like, why even be exclusive?
Yeah, man. But I think when we talking about people who already communicated this is the purpose of this. Like, I think people who shack up and they get to the common area of just being shackers, they never had the attention.
Yeah,
I do think that that is more of a minority than even what Matt is saying, because a lot more people spend way more time in just being complacent in a relationship than actually being intentional.
And I think
most people actually aren't intentional.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then people can say, everybody keeps saying, and I ain't just talking about y'all in general, people love saying this whole saying of, if we let it be known at the beginning. Most of relationships, I ain't gonna say most relationships, but a lot of relationships, people let it be known from the beginning how they gonna move. And guess what? When they standards change throughout the relationship, they start bending stuff, they start changing stuff. So we make it seem like I let this be known, so this is the line that's gonna go through. Majority of the time, people don't stick to that code that he set in the beginning of relationships.
I don't disagree with you when we're talking about most people, but one thing I can tell you as far as me right now, that you know me. Right now, I don't have no intentions on being married. But if I choose to say I want to be married, these things are rock solid. I'm not playing with no woman. Like, if I say 6 months, it's 6 months, or you will get the fuck out the way when the 7 month coming, I make the proposal. Yeah. Because I know what the fuck I want, and I'm not playing with you. So, most people might do that, But I'm talking about me. I'm not playing with you. If I want a wife, you gonna get to a wife within a year.
But most people's standards don't change though. Like it might seem like they change just because they conform to get a benefit out of the situationship or the relationship or whatever the case is. But down the line, they standards come right back. Like if they messing with somebody, if they standard was like I ain't gonna be with a smoker or a drinker or whatever, and they end up talking to the person and they smoke and they drink but they giving it up. He ain't really changed his standards. He just conformed for a minute, but down the line, you're gonna be like, yo, that smoking or that drinking gonna start getting to him a little bit. This standards never really changed.
I also said bend or move. Said change, bend or move. You know what I'm saying? All that I'm saying is part of that because how many people set these standards, then you feeling the girl, she's doing everything for you. She's a benefit to your life in a way you never even seen a woman benefit your life. And now you say, hey, maybe this little thing I had a standing on ain't that serious because she's benefit me in so many other levels. So you let that small thing go because you look at it as small now based on this person. So I mean, even in a good way, some people feel like, they throw certain things out for people. Me and KJ always had a conversation about there's been women that say, I don't want kids. I will never want a baby. That's out the limit. And then they meet the right guy and for him, I will have a baby.
That's BS. That's BS. I don't believe that at all. That's BS. I don't subscribe to when women say for the right guy, I'll do this. Like, no, that's BS to me.
I don't think they were saying it. I talk about a person that said, well, no matter every guy they met, they said this was something they wasn't gonna do. Like this was always a standard of theirs. They not know I'm changing. They didn't know they was gonna change for the right guy. They just met somebody and they say there's something about him that I now want a kid.
Yeah, I've seen that happen amongst men and women. Like you very secure in your position of I'm not dealing with a woman with no kids. And then you end up meeting a woman that you feel has such a great admiration and all stuff and fell for, and then she actually had a child. And then it changes because you realize like, yo, you really, really rock with this woman. So that standard went away because you actually met this person.
I've seen that on both sides. Guilty of it, and Kevin made a good example because I've met a female. I always say, y'all hear me, I'm never dating a woman with kids. But I met a woman that had one kid, and I would have rocked with her. Like she was just dope as hell on every level. I would have rocked with her even with the one kid. So I mean, there's some people that they just bring something so special to you that you start changing and shifting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see that. How many? Who do you think changes they deal breakers more?
I think it's both. It's kind of hard because both people change deal breakers for the right person.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that. I think when it's for the right person, I think you can see both sides. They change them. Like I think a lot of times, especially like people who got like them really, really, really strict deal breakers. I think the only reason why a person is able to be really, really, really strict is because you ain't actually came across somebody you really, really fuck with like that. Because it's easy. I agree with Matt. Like it's easy for you to sit and say, no, zero tolerance, non-negotiable, boom, 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 boom. That's because you just haven't met the person. But all it takes is that person to come around and they'll change all that shit, though. On both sides.
But it is a kind of argument that the person that you meet might don't even ask you to change with it. They cooperate with it. So my whole thing is I want to meet the woman who want to cooperate with some of my things in my life that I take seriously, that I call non-negotiables. And she said, yo, those non-negotiables for you, I fucks with. And then she might have some non-negotiables. I'm like, you know what? I oblige some of your non-negotiables too. You know what I mean? Like, it's about that where I see the harmony come into place, where I can respect what you really don't like. You know what I mean? I'm not going to bring that disrespectfulness to you because I know you don't like it. And it don't. And then I think it should be obliged to the other situation too. Like, hey, you see what her non-negotiables is, and oblige it.
Yeah, and that would be the same thing. That's both people folding to what they said their standards were.
No, that's the other person folding because you said I'm not changing. The other person saying, I don't care. You know what I mean? We're gonna go with that. Because for them, ain't no non-negotiable, right? So it's like you got a non-negotiable, they don't. So since that's a non-negotiable for you, and it's not for me, we're gonna go with your non-negotiable. You got what I'm saying?
Yeah, they both still conforming.
Huh?
They still both conforming to a degree. Because most people, because even if you don't have standards set,
I mean,
you still conform. You're still conforming to the other person.
I mean, yeah, but I don't mind. I mean, we got to conform together and become one mold. I mean, so I don't mind conforming to that. If we becoming one, and we ain't becoming one.
That's what the overall thought was, though. It was like people who choose to say those nevers, like I would never. All it takes is the right person, and you will definitely fold. Period.
I agree. I agree.
I think I was just talking to my homegirl about this same topic, and I think that the right person ain't necessarily always the right person. It's just that one person. It's like she would say, "Nah, I would never do this. I would never. These are my standards." Until she meet that one guy, she throw all her standards out the window. I never do that, and she do it anyway for that one guy. It ain't really the right guy. It ain't really the right guy. He can be toxic. He can be whatever. But
it's the right guy for her at the moment. Now it might not be the right guy for her overall within her life, but it is the right guy for the moment.
Mm.
Yeah, like females. It's like females that say girls are nasty for having one night stands and shit on girls. Like damn, she easy. And then she meet the right guy one day and he busts that thing open that same night. You know what I'm saying? She never done that before. She never done it before. That one guy come along with that swag, that good game. They having a magical night, and she opening them legs up, and now her whole view of that changes.
I mean, I said I wouldn't date women outside of my culture, but now in my life, I would.
No, that's a whole nother that's a whole nother question right there. Like, okay, so how y'all feel about that?
That's actually something I'm going to get into on my tomorrow night show because I'm talking about poor representation. And it was actually a conversation that I was actually arguing with a few people at work about. Like people had different stances on that whole dating outside the race thing. But that's definitely something I got a proposal on tomorrow's show. But I mean, we answering it here. I don't have a problem with the whole concept of dating out your race. I mean, you fall for who you fall for. You deal with whoever you deal for. I don't believe in setting limitations on myself like that. So the idea of saying I'm gonna only date black is a limitation. I'm gonna only date white is a limitation. I'm only date Asian is a limitation
too.
I don't believe in setting limitations. The whole goal of my life is to exceed and blow past limitations. So why would I then set them for myself?
Yeah, I was like, yo, the best thing might be what I turn my head away from. For me, you didn't want to say I ain't saying the best thing in the world, but best thing for me might be something I'm just not trying to pay that attention to because of what? Because of what I done heard other people say growing up and all this other stuff and talk. See, at one point, I used to hear women, and really it came from women complaining. I ain't gonna lie. Like, y'all don't like dealing with your own people. Y'all was looking out, and I was like, I wouldn't date a woman because I'm dealing with my people. Then as you grow up, you're like, hold on, man. I'm not letting a woman dictate that thought. Because, I mean, that thought came from women for me. You dig what I'm saying? And how they got cultivated throughout time. I just had to remove that thought.
That's where a lot of the narrative come from.
Yeah, so I just had to remove that and like, nah, that's manipulation to me now. Like I call it, hey, y'all black women trying to manipulate me to stay over here when it might not be good for me over here. Period. Don't mean I ain't not supportive of black women and for the culture and stuff, but you don't know how you're gonna, you know how that your wife gonna come to you. You know what I mean? And if it attracted to you too, and you like everything about it, like why would you? Yeah, that's one other thing. I'm not turning down something I like. If I like it, I want to. Ain't nobody. I might feel bad about choosing something that's for me. Like that's how I feel about you. Forget my culture if they're gonna be mad for me choosing something for me. That's how I feel about it now.
I would make it that would definitely be beneficial for a lot of guys actually to date out their culture because a lot of guys aren't even accepted by what's considered their culture. You know, some people don't even have the personalities of what people think that should be a part of the culture. Like how many lame guys that are considered lame by their community and they go in another community and are considered, great people. This happens all the time where a guy, he might have been a nerd in school. He went to college. He wasn't doing none of the stuff that we were doing in our culture. And in another community, he's praised for that. So I think you should go with wherever you accept and you feel home and loved there. You know, you shouldn't feel no obligation to I'm gonna rock with this because this is my culture. Because your culture may not even fuck with you. You know, your actual culture may be. Some people born in an era where they don't even fit in with their culture. Where you may fit in more so with another culture anyway.
And then,
Yeah,
and
but
I
yeah,
agree
but
with Mattie
yeah,
B,
but
'cause
but
the
yeah,
reason I got on that,
but your mama black and your sister black and your ancestors, you know.
yeah, but the whole thing is I apply that thing because the whole concept go for family too. Like just because we family don't even need to be around you, right? Because sometimes family can put you in a messed up situation in life. So like that's why I started really applying that thought because it's like just because my culture say something don't mean I should do it, and just because my family say something don't mean I should do it either. I need to do what's best for my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when, like, once you understand like, all of that, hearing other people's thoughts and clear out the noise, and you do what's best for your life, culture of family is not going to do what's best for your life. You know what I'm saying? They're going to give you suggestions about all kinds of things. There's a lot of suggestions going to come from culture and from family. But it's up to you to choose and make the better decision for your life, period, man. So if it's dating an outside woman, a woman outside your culture is better for your life, you need to do that. Marrying a woman outside your culture is what you need to do.
Makes it?
Go ahead.
What makes it? This is a question to the panel. What makes it your culture? Is it just because you're born there? Because what if you don't even share the same common interests as the people around you? Would it still be considered your culture?
Well, your culture would simply be where you identify with.
Okay, so yeah, so I mean that's what I'm thinking. Because
you got some people who might tell you, well, you black, so your culture is the so-called black community,
exactly.
and you cannot exist with that. But realistically, the same way as far as like your community, your culture, these are the things that you identify with. These are the places.
Well, I shouldn't say culture.
Where you're at.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't say culture. Race. Let's make it simple. Race. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the race is a family. Look, you can't get away from being black if you're black, right? It's like you can't get away from your blood because that's your blood. So from that aspect, like you can't get away from something you're born in.
So wait. So wait, just for understanding, what is black?
Well, melanin. Fuck. Like
I was about to say that because I was like, I don't go far down my family. I got brothers and sisters who you might say black, but I'm like, nigga, both of their parents is clearly different. Her mama white, his mama and her mama is Filipino. It's not a direct thing of being black. You get what I'm saying?
Well,
it's like, what are we identifying as when we start saying black?
Yeah, but we said that's biracial families. Biracial families got their own culture amongst themselves too, because they are how they see the world and how they born in the world. And that wouldn't. Biracial families, a lot of bridges. So let's understand that some people are on definite sides, and some people are part of the bridge community that help communities come together, help cultures come together. Like it could be a blessing to be biracial if you understand that you're a bridge to make.
It is a blessing.
You know what I mean? You're a bridge. Like you're able to make two cultures talk.
I love being a hybrid.
Huh?
I said I love being a hybrid.
But
what you mix with, Kev? What you mix with, Kev?
We got all kind of shit mixed up in us, man. That's just crazy. No, we got a lot. I got grandparents who one's Hispanic, one's Native American, one's like, dude, it's so much that's here. It's like, dude, like when people start saying black, it's like, yo, but you identify black as one side, but then when you say brown, you're talking about a whole nother side. And then when we start getting into the other, because my father has multiple children, and he did, and his baby mothers aren't black. He got white ones, he got Asians, he got black. So it's like, dude, that's why I say I am part of the biracial. Because even on my mother's side, once you get past my grandmother, they white. So it's like, that's a different battle.
I think biracial children has a different take on life than somebody who grew up in strict environments.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And when I say strict environments, it's mostly like a one viewpoint, you know what I mean, type scenario. You know what I mean? Like they got a broader view. Like and I tell people sometimes you got to listen to people with broader views than yours. They're seeing stuff and witnessing stuff and getting information that you probably ain't privy to. You know what I mean? No outlets.
Is that
Yeah.
always a good thing?
Why? Because what do you mean?
And I'm just asking, is that like say Colin Kaepernick is biracial, right? And they say a lot of biracial kids, they have a knack to like always be fighting for a cause, even though there may be some people that say it's an illegitimate cause. But a lot of biracial kids, when they get older, they tend to always like play the middle ground and wanting things to work out for the best. So
No,
sometimes
that's
they
not
jump.
their responsibility. But because
That's-
they had because they had that's not a responsibility, but because they had the information to share, they can share. And that's the whole thing. They had the information to share. There's nobody's responsibility to step up and do anything and pick up some shit they don't want to do. Like if you want to fight for that cause, that's something you feel like you heartfelt about, then fight for it. But no, that's not their responsibility.
And you're
That's
also talking about a battle of identity as well. Like those biracial kids you talking about also are facing a identity crisis too.
That's why I'm
They're
saying.
trying to battle. They're trying to battle and say I have to pick a side versus accepting both sides. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think all that
both
Kaepernick
sides,
picked the
you want
side.
both to battle because you know you both. Only the niggas who say, "Damn, do I got to be black or do I got to be white?" You fighting the battle with yourself because you trying to find your own identity in it. Not realizing you are sum of all parts.
Yeah, we talking about fighting for certain justices, unfairnesses.
Yeah, but those typically come with the identity portion. Because if you have like a white mother and a black father, now you might want to fight for blacks because you have that black side in you, but yet you are still white. But now you have to now choose whether or not I walk this battle. Do I fight for black people? Because you now battling with, okay, who do I have more of who should I place my allegiance more so on? Should I put it on my black side or my white side? And if I go with my black side, then am I now shaming or walking away from my white side? That's why I say it's still a battle of identity amongst the person. Because you feel you have to choose. Most of them feel like they have to choose a side versus deal with both.
Can you choose a battle Can you choose the battle and not choose a side?
Can you choose a battle
without choosing a side?
I mean, you could choose a cause, but the cause.
I said you could choose a cause. You can actually have a cause and not be on either side.
Right, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, choose a cause. It's not choosing what side. It's like I'm fighting for this cause. I'm not fighting because of black. I'm not fighting for white. I'm fighting for the cause. Like I see this was into that person, right? Because they fight it's kind of personal. It's like I see that as a personal fight, that is a fairness that I want to fight for, not because it was black or white. They're like, because it was a black-white situation, but I'm really fighting for the bottom line principle. This was not right.
Yeah, I guess I was about to ask, like, who forces that choice, or who forces that battle? Is that more of a personal battle, or is that or is that societal?
Personal. That's why I was getting that personal. 100%.
I think it's a personal battle.
Because when you mentioned Colin Kaepernick, I saw the personal, like when I was watching on Netflix, we talk about his life. I saw the personal battle, but I also saw how society factors played into that battle as well. Yeah, but it depends on where you grew up.
Yeah, and I was about to say that, and your where you choose to place yourself personally also dictates how this battle goes further too. Mm-hmm. So you have to understand your personal placement first before even getting into the societal side. Otherwise, you're gonna be fucked up all the way through this fight.
And every time there's an issue, not every time, but when there's an issue in the community, and let's say a community, a small town, when I mention community, of a race issue, if you are biracial, a lot of times they feel like they have to step up and say something because they feel like they can identify more so with both sides and they can see both perspectives. So they put themselves a lot of times in the midst of positions to have a voice because they feel like this is directly affecting me. And they feel the pressure when they go into their black side or their white side or something like that, and those conversations are happening.
I mean, I can see where the confliction is because even with the with Colin Kaepernick, like you living in a white home, but then when you go outside of your home, you're treated black.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a confliction of what side what side is my identity more lean towards? Because if I try out for this team, they're looking at me as a black kid and they treat me like that, and I'm not getting the same opportunities. But then when I go home to my white family, it doesn't feel that way.
And I feel like, and a lot of times I feel like I have to prove that I'm black enough. I feel like if I don't say nothing, people are going to look at me as a sellout. So I need to say something because it's already a question of my identity. Even though it may not be, that's how sometimes they think about it as.
All that personal.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Society might be applying pressure, but that battle is still within.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I got a question though. If a woman come up to you and say she got a 90-day rules, what's your perspective on that? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna save that for another episode. That 90-day rule, where y'all get that from, and how men react to it, respond to it. I want to talk about that. But we're gonna wrap this up though. How y'all feeling? That was a good show. I feel like.
Nah, that was good stuff.
Yeah, man, we talked about it a good lot.
Yeah, great conversation.
Yeah, I think we all kind of expounded on why we single and what it's like.
Yeah.
Whatever that purpose is. But I want everybody to get their plugs in. You know, me, Kevin Perspective. You know, you're on the channel every week, new videos. Check it out. Share, subscribe to the channel. You see the thumbnail, you see the title. KJ, what you got going on, man?
Oh man, you know, still keeping my gang together. Got the panels. You know, we still talking, having these good conversations. Humble Beginnings is definitely where you find me. I am Mr. Humble Beginnings. Also, I have the Is It Disrespectful? It's coming. Matter of fact, it's here. We about to put it forward. Same channel, same place, man.
Yeah, Deuce, what you got going on?
Wow, Deuce 47. Make sure y'all be hitting our social medias up for us. Vocal Vision, Facebook, Vocal Vision, YouTube. Make sure y'all turn into the Art of CEO Experience with me and KFC. And when we talking about life situations, hit the gray area when we introducing everything.
Yeah.
The announcements will come further and further as we keep progressing.
Vocal Visions Network. Mattie B, glad you came on to the Something to Say podcast. You got any shout outs? Anything you want to get off?
Nah, just Matthew Washington Facebook for right now.
Cool, man. I got something to say. You got something to say. We all got something to say. On the Something to Say podcast, Vocal Visions, we are out.
If I don't spark the mind, I'm not living motivation. If you live it or you make it, I can take it that you're faking. I'll call your bluff, I'll point you out, I can get so blatant.